and then the sock.
Your key is making part of your arm go away.
Oh, it does that. Oh.
This is a keychain. It's a lot harder to understand. You're a pro at it by now.
I've had many years of experience of being understood with a cigar in my mouth. Don't try it. It's not for amateurs.
I know. I'll take your advice on that one. I'll heed it. Oh my God, I'm here. Lucky, however lucky I am. I need just a moment here. I'm here with the legend, Ed the Sock. Damn it. The footwear with the best brows in the business. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Well, you are, but I'm going to allow it for now. Is my camera in focus? Usually the camera doesn't focus on my face, it focuses on the background. Am I in focus?
Oh, you look just fine, Ed. Just fine.
Don't kiss my ass, just tell me if I'm in focus.
Oh, don't make promises you can't keep. You're in focus.
I'm not making any promises. I never said you could kiss my ass.
Well, that's just my imagination getting the best of me then.
Yeah, and you better stop it right now.
I'll stop, contain myself here. I did notice you're not masked up. Do socks even need to wear masks?
I wear a mask, but not when I'm in my own house.
True. Yeah, I guess.
When you're in your own house alone, or when you're driving in your car and you wear a mask, it's like masturbating with a condom on. What exactly who are you protecting yourself from in that circumstance? The top of your head keeps disappearing. It's very disconcerting.
I noticed that too. It's here. Maybe this will help out the situation there. There we go.
That seemed to help it out. You got rid of your Motley Crue tribute bandana.
It was more of a Guns N' Roses thing, but
whoever
get sick? Can socks get sick even?
Are we gonna focus on my ethnicity? Of course I can get sick. Right now I'm getting sick of this interview.
Oh, well, I wanted to know if all the people are wiped out, is it just going to be angry, sentient, socks, balaclavas taking over this rock once we're all gone?
Well, I don't know of any other sock puppets that have achieved my level of sentience. So I don't think that's a problem. I think it'll mostly be the apes that take over. And that's fine with me. They seem more civilized.
Yeah, they got a system going. Now, one of the most recent videos I've seen of you, and my favorite, is you at the COVID protest there at the Queen's March. You met some pretty interesting characters there. What was the most craziest, insane guy that you met there, or gal?
It is so hard to categorize who was craziest in that category. It's like when there's a horse race and you have to measure the winner by photo finish, and it's like a fraction of a second. It's hard there. I mean, it was a bizarre of bizarros. There was people there who had nothing to do with COVID. They were just there complaining about whatever their pet concern is. Like the woman who was complaining about 5G. She was saying that 5G is going to take over our minds. And another woman who said that Bill Gates wanted to put a chip in her. And I'm looking at her thinking, lady, nobody wants to keep track of where you are. Never mind Bill Gates.
How was your COVID Christmas? I know it's a little late for that, but I just gotta know.
Oh, COVID Christmas was the best Christmas ever.
Yeah.
Because usually when you go to Christmas, like you go to Christmas events, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, there's going to be other people there, and you got to get presents for them because they're going to get a present for you, but you don't really like them enough to get them a present. You don't think enough about them to think about what they'd want in a present. So this year, I didn't have to get presents for anybody I didn't want to get presents for, and it was beautiful.
Did you get any presents from Corona Santa, at least?
I always get the same thing every year.
Yeah. I've been wishing out to Corona Santa if I want to bring back a Toronto landmark that we've lost over the years and due to COVID, just in general. And a question I float out in your direction, if you could bring back one Toronto landmark, let's say it could be the Hard Rock Cafe, Honest Ed's, Caddy's, which would it be?
Well, I mean, Honest Ed's was one of those things that it was there forever and it had a lot of history, but I never went there. So I'm one of those people that says, no, don't knock it down, don't knock it down. But I never went in there to give them business to make it worthwhile to stay open.
Honestly,
So Hard Rock Cafe, yes, because we were doing a live show from the Hard Rock Cafe. And if the Hard Rock Cafe was there, we might still be doing a live show from the Hard Rock Cafe. That was a lot of fun. People came in and out. It was just like old Much Music. It was a beautiful show. So I'd probably bring that back. And probably I'd bring back Ben Kerr. He was almost a statue. He was a guy, an old guy at Young and Bloor, who would play with his guitar with a sweatshirt that said Ben Kerr for mayor. Every day, the same sweatshirt. And his songs, he wrote a lot of songs, but every song sounded like the last song. He just changed the lyrics. He was always there at Young and Bloor. He was there for decades, and then he died. See, and you don't even know, younger generations don't even know about this guy.
His name
he was, what?
His name rings a bell. The guitar, like you said, his songs all sound the same. I think I know the guy. I can place his face, but I don't want to.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago, and he's one of those local characters that help make a city, that help give a character to a city. We don't have those anymore. We tend to institutionalize them.
What happened to the guy at Young and Dundas, the Believe in the Lord guy?
Well, there's not just one guy. At Young and Dundas in front of the Eaton Center,
Everyone knows that one guy, though.
There's always religious people there trying to proselytize with their little portable speakers and so on, and everyone ignores them. They just get in everyone's way. And then if you're hungry, you can go over to the hot dog guy, who is really grouchy to the point of being a son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. We all gotta know, what have you been up to since your Much Music days? I mean, you have Night Party, you had Ed and Red. Where you been, man?
Well, I took some time off. Ed's Night Party ran 14 years.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest running shows in Canadian history.
I grew up with Night Party.
Yeah, and Much Music, I quit Much Music a year before I stopped doing the Night Party show because it wasn't fun anymore, and new owners took over after that, so they changed the channel substantially, so there's no room for me to go back there. And I've been doing a lot of stuff online. I was doing stuff for an American firm. There was a company called Defy Media. They owned a lot of websites out of LA, and I was doing weekly videos for them for a couple of years. Since then, I started up a podcast network called the FU Network, where we have, right now, currently we have 4 podcasts that are on per week, and we get thousands of listeners. It's doing quite well. No, it's called my podcast it's all audio podcasts. And that audio podcast is called Ed the Sock Lives. And you can find it under FU Network, wherever you find podcasts. Soon it'll be out on its own. It won't be underneath anything.
Or in this link right here.
Or there.
You've interviewed a lot of crazy Canadian celebrities. I gotta know, what does Nickelback smell like? I've always wanted to know. Yeah,
You know, they say that smells trigger memory, but you can't actually remember smells. I think the fact that there was no particular scent, that because if they stunk, I'd immediately be whoa as a memory. So I think that they didn't smell like anything in particular. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There was they didn't smell like sweat. They didn't smell like shampoo. They smelled like nothing.
Puppet versus puppet.
What are some choice words that you have for Triumph the Insult Dog?
You know what? I don't really have any words for that dog anymore. Yeah, he blocked my ability to make it into the U.S. in a big way. Yeah, he ripped me off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Anyone who sees it, everything he did after I contacted Conan O'Brien about coming on his show. So he followed in my footsteps. The thing is, I comment now on politics. I'm a bit of an influencer, a thought leader, they call me for whatever reason. And I've evolved over the years. The dog still does the exact same thing that it always did. He's using the same shtick over and over. His material hasn't changed at all. And so if I had anything, I'd say, grow up, evolve, get out of that present state, get out of the rut that you're in. But Americans like predictable comedy, so they like knowing exactly what they're gonna get from this dog puppet.
Well, they can have that down there in America. How about this? Sesame Street or Avenue Q? Which hood do you rep?
Well, I would live in Avenue Q, but I'd rather watch Sesame Street.
Okay, I think I might have heard a rumor. Didn't you have a thing with that smiley chick from the Muppets? I swear, who was that you or who dumped who there?
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
What happened to the Vanilla Ice interview? And what's the closest you've come to an actual fist fight with somebody in an interview, other than our interactions right now?
The Vanilla Ice interview was a disaster. We flew to Florida because that's where he was performing, which made us the only crew in North America willing to fly somewhere because Vanilla Ice is there. Most film crews leave when Vanilla Ice is there, but we went to interview him. He was doing that at that point in time. He was copying Cypress Hill and doing just songs about weed.
Just collaborating and listen.
Well, the guy never listened. He's listening to other people's music and trying to steal it. So I did an interview with him, and he was a real asshole the whole way through. And I let him have 3 shots, and then I started taking shots at him, and he didn't like it. And so we ended the interview, and then he tried to stop the interview from being used, to which I said, screw that. And we used the interview, and even after his manager tried to convince me not to use the interview, his record company called me 5 minutes later, thanking me so much for doing the interview with Vanilla Ice, because the record company knew nobody else was interested in talking to Vanilla Ice.
You put him on the map, basically.
No, he was well on the map. He was falling off the map at that point in time. Closest to come to fisticuffs is with Anthony Kiedis of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay.
We didn't like each other.
What sparked that, though?
He just walked in with a lot of attitude. He was wearing pants and a shirt.
Good.
And he came in, and there was just a tension. Let's just say he was a bit of a diva, and it devolved to the point where I said to him, "You want to hit me right now, don't you?" And he paused just a little too long before he said no. So it was clear that he did. And we pretty much wrapped the interview up just a little bit after that. Couldn't stand that guy.
Mr. Stripes from Zebra and the Bandit asks, I would love to know what it's like doing laundry as Ed the Sock. What is it like doing laundry as Ed the Sock?
Why do you think that it's different than anybody else? You gotta throw the clothes in, you gotta throw in the detergent, you gotta set the cycle, you gotta wait for it to finish, gotta put it in the dryer, throw in the bounce sheet.
Do you
It's
wear
like
socks?
anybody else. What?
Do you wear socks?
I am a sock. Next question.
Next question comes from Lindsay. How does Ed the Sock feel about tattoos, and do you have any? Can socks get tattooed?
No, it doesn't tend to sink into the cotton very well.
No.
It doesn't hold a pattern. As far as tattoos, I have nothing actually intrinsically against tattoos. I just think some people get them and don't think about the fact that they're going to get older and that they're going to need to get jobs. Yeah. You should always get a tattoo in a place that you can cover it.
Good advice. Write this down if you're listening. Jen, is it easier to interview folks when you're not a human? Maybe is it less intimidating or more? Do you want to see more fellow non-human interviewers?
I don't really give a damn if there's more non-human interviewers or not. I'd like to get more opportunity to do interviews for those big entertainment shows these days, but they're a little snotty. And yes, it's different for me to get interviews. It's not easier, it's just different. People respond to me differently. I don't ask them the same questions that everybody else does. And so since I don't ask them the same questions everybody else does, they actually have to stop and think of the answer. And so the interviews wind up being a little deeper and a little funnier.
That's what I've always enjoyed about you, Ed the Sock. And I do know that you are a very busy sock. You got cigars to smoke, and I have other things to smoke. EdTheSock.com. Grab some merch. I did earlier. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Ed the Sock, Ed the Sock, Ed the Sock, Ed the Sock. I just want to thank you again, mucho gracias, for gracing the Dr. T Show. Where can we catch Ed the Sock next?
I'm always on Twitter, at Ed the Sock. I'm getting on Instagram more than I used to. It's Ed_the_sock. Got the website, edthesock.com, and I've got a Facebook page that's just Ed the Sock. You can find me in all of those places.
All the links will be right here and in the description below. Ed, I want to send it off. I don't know if you have hands to cheers, but cheers, Ed. Thank you.
Your hand just disappeared. It was rather frightening.
It's COVID magic.
No, it looked like you were a thalidomide baby. All right. Good to talk to you. What was your name again? Trevor?
Close enough. Taylor.
All right.
but
Taylor. Okay, doesn't matter. All right. Good talking to you.
Thanks again, pal.
Okay, bye.
Bye.